Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What is going on tonight? Welcome one more time. Oh yeah, to the Big Time Show podcast that is being seen and heard live right now on Facebook, YouTube, particularly the Big Time Show Facebook and YouTube pages, as well as the Sports Empire Network page. What's going on, everybody, on tonight? What's going on to Podbean, the original home of the podcast, and to those that may be watching on Twitch, those that might be watching on all of the the downloads, the replays on Podbean and Pandora and iHeartRadio and everywhere that has this on your podcast platform. Listen, it's good to be here tonight on this Monday night. In a very strange time that we're living in this world. By now, most of you have already heard about the shootings in Louisville, Kentucky. On today, another mass shooting. It's just when you think it can't get worse, it does. So of course, my prayers are for all those families that will be affected by the deaths of innocent people. Obviously, pretty rough time. Our country is getting a little out of hand. It really is. So I hope that you guys will keep those families, keep those families in prayer. Just unbelievable what we're seeing. For those that have not seen it, please just go turn it on whatever news station or network that you'd like to watch it. I guarantee you it's the top of the news. So I'm quite sure most of you have heard about that. It really is unbelievable. It really is. Hello to everybody. I want to let you know before we even get started on tonight. I want to let you know that you can support the podcast by, if you're watching by Facebook, you can support it by using the stars that are there. And then, of course, if you're on my YouTube, the Big Time Show YouTube page, if you want your comment read immediately, you can use that super chat there. If you're watching by your phone, it's at your bottom right corner there of your phone. I don't know what it is if you're watching on desktop. I've never seen it before on net, so but I'm quite sure you can check it out there. Let me speak to some people that I see. I see, yeah, I see you on Podbean. Hello, it's Ty. I see you. And Mr. Greg, what's up, man? And I may have a couple people that are watching that have not spoken to me. Do me a favor. Will you share this? And I'm talking. What's up, Jeffrey? I see you, brother. Just popped in. What's going on? I haven't shared it myself. I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, if we're gonna share, I'm messing up on it. Let's see here. Y'all forgive me for being a little janky here, but I have not shared it, and I need to. How about that? What's up? Oh, Jeffrey Murray, you Jay Ugger. Okay, I got you now. I see. You know, you coming on here with aliases. Sometime your alias is your real name. It's just like some folks just know me as when it just depends on what function of me that you know me by. More people know me as Bishop Brooks. Some people know me as Doug Brooks. Some people know me as Lewis Brooks. It just all depends on how you know me. So let me share this. I hope you guys will help me out here. I promise you, won't be long tonight. We're gonna continue our discussion about one Dak Prescott on tonight. I'm just sharing out. Hope that you would do that for me. I'm doing that right now as we speak. Y'all forgive me, but I'm a little janky and I'm a little slow tonight. Don't talk bad about me here. I'm just a little slow tonight. That's all. Just a little slow tonight. I'll be ready to rock in just a second. I'm just sharing it out to a few groups, and I promise we'll go ahead and get this thing started like right now. All right. So let me talk about this first. And then I'll get to that. Number one, Cowboy Nation. A lot of Cowboy Nation hearts were broken earlier today. Well, 2 days ago, with the signing of Odell Beckham Jr. to the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know why folks are upset about that, especially the Cowboy fans. Because if you've been on this show, you would already known, as I said and predicted, Odell Beckham Jr. would not be a Dallas Cowboy. I said it a long time ago, and once again, the same playbook, recent playbook of players has taken place once again. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Whenever there is a big name player like Odell, whenever there's a big name player, usually the last few years, last 4 to 5 years, first team that they always associate these big name guys is with the Dallas Cowboys. Why is that? I hope you guys are listening to not only me, but other shows as well who are preaching this same language. These players know, number one, that they're not going to Dallas. But what they have done recently is use the Cowboy brand. They use the ESPN, Fox, because that's the first thing they're going to report. The Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys. They are going to use their brand to draw interest, number one, and then also in some cases to drive the price up for what they eventually are going to sign with another team. Odell Beckham Jr. just did what Bobby Wagner did. Bobby Wagner, in my view, had no real interest in joining the Dallas Cowboys. He did it last year and he did it this year. Last year, the name Cowboys came up because of his association with Dan Quinn. He never showed his face other than a visit to the Cowboys. He knew he was not going. As a matter of fact, this year, before he signed with the Seahawks, what he said was he was going to let the other two teams determine his value. In other words, what he was saying was, I'm going to let y'all have a bidding war. That's all Bobby Wagner did. Highest bidder wins. That's what Bobby pretty much did. So much so that he went back home to Seattle. I don't think it's really about a big deal about going home. Bobby just trying to get paid, and he got paid again. This time from his home team. I'm quite sure going back home to Seattle may have a little bit to do with that, but let's just be realistic. He went back home because he wanted to get paid. That's just the truth. I believe that with all my heart. Earl Thomas, y'all remember that? Remember Earl Thomas who ran Jason Garrett down after Baltimore? I mean, after he played, he was playing with Seattle then at the time. Ran and said, "Come get me." In other words, come trade for me. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to come back to Dallas. He played at the University of Texas. He wanted to, at least he portrayed like he wanted to come back home to Dallas. Come back home to Texas and play for the Dallas Cowboys. It all signs leaded to Earl Thomas because he wanted to come to Dallas. He said, "Come get me," a free agent and all that. Every day, everybody was saying Earl Thomas to the Dallas Cowboys. Earl Thomas, on the Dallas Cowboys. I in the word that Baltimore sneaked right in the back door. I don't even believe it was back door. It went through the front door. Paid Earl Thomas an unbelievable amount of money, and he hurried up and left. They used the Cowboy brand to drive up the price. He did. It's crazy. Every free agent does this to the Dallas Cowboys. So, not that the Cowboys, I feel like, was really in the running in the first place, as I said on numerous occasions. But a lot of Cowboy fans who had dreams of having Odell are hurt. You saw the contract that he signed, $18 million. A total, but 3 of those $18 million are incentives. Nobody knows what those incentives are. We don't know. But what we do know is he signed $13.6 million signing bonus, which means that when he signed his name on the contract, they gave him a check, $13 million right there. His base salary is only going to be 1.16 in the salary cap this year. Great deal for Baltimore, because I think he paid him too much, to be honest with you. But it was a bidding war. That's what Odell did, just like Bobby Wagner did. It was a bidding war, and it's a bidding war that, frankly, no matter how you feel about it, I believe the Dallas Cowboys obviously played it smart by letting him go on, get what he think he's going to get. See what I'm saying? Jeffrey said he believes that had we not signed LV, we might have paid Wagner a nice 2-year deal. Well, the only thing I would say about that, Jeffrey, is is that why did Bobby become a secondary option? Uh, the priority for them, it sounded like the Cowboys, was to sign LVE. They would have took Bobby at their price, but the price obviously was not what Seattle was offering. I believe Bobby got $8 million a year or something like that. I believe that's the case. Cowboys could have afforded it, but they didn't want to pay him that amount of money. I don't know what the offer was. I mean, nobody knows that, but it's obviously that it wasn't no $8 million. I know that. So my whole point is that athletes and use the Cowboy brand to draw interest, number one, and then to drive the price up for the eventual team that they will sign up with. That's what I've been seeing lately when it comes to the Cowboys. So once again, what we got this year is some pretty big names, but they came through trade. I'm talking about regular free agents sign and say, "Hey, I want to play with the Cowboys." It usually don't happen for us. It don't. The list goes on and on. I just brought out these couple of guys. There's more that everybody uses the Cowboy brand to help them, and it works. It works. It works. You get Shannon Sharp talking. You get Stephen A. talking, and you get Marcus Spears talking. You get all these people talking about the Cowboys and this person possibly going. Oh my goodness, it draws tremendous attention. And once again, this playbook works, and it worked for Odell Beckham Jr. So all I said to that was, I'm sorry to the Cowboy fans who really actually thought. What's up, Matthew? I see you. Who really actually thought that this guy possibly was coming to Dallas. What's up, Talib? Thank you, man. Appreciate y'all popping in. I don't get. If you've been on my show, I mean, we've been prepared for all this all the time. We knew Odell wasn't coming. We knew that. No surprise at all. But Cowboy fans, let me give you another lesson. Some lesson I've been trying to share with you guys for the last few years. Whenever you see the big name, don't count on them coming to Dallas. Just stop it. It never works out that way for us. And then we don't like to pay gigantic money. We just don't do it. And y'all should know that by now. So maybe now, since we can get away from this Odell Beckham dream that some of you guys had, hopefully now we can move on, and let's get ready for the draft and the guys. That's not the topic, man. The topic is Dak Prescott. I just started off with Odell Beckham and the heartbreak that I've seen from Cowboys fans that wanted Odell to sign with the Cowboys. I told them that, look, it wasn't going to happen anyway. Odell played it masterfully. Used the Cowboy brand to drive the price up. It worked again. So let the dream go. Let's go play football. All right. Let's talk about Dak Prescott. We started this for those that was not with me on Saturday. We had a real good discussion about Dak Prescott. If you want to, maybe you can go check out the first part. This is part 2 today. Because Dak Prescott is a lightning rod conversation in Cowboy land. Not just in Cowboy land, now that I think about it, just the NFL period, because there's such a dividing line in every phase of him. It really is. It really is. He is, without a doubt, he has to be one of the most scrutinized players in recent years where there's no middle ground for him. You either love him or you hate him. It is really no middle ground for Dak. And the unfortunate part for Dak is that there are whole lot of people outside of Cowboy Nation that has the feelings that they have for him, but then that's fandom. That's fandom. Everybody hate the Cowboys. If you're not a Cowboy fan, Cowboys are the same way. You either love them or you hate them. When it comes to outside people, usually most people can't stand the Cowboys. Of course, they're biased in their evaluation of Dak Prescott, and usually it's on the negative side. But really, that's not what surprises everybody. What surprised me is the same venom that they had that other fan base have with Dak. It's in Cowboy Nation. Cowboy fans are so divided when it comes to Dak, and there's only two options: you love him or you hate him. You'll be surprised of the hate that Dak Prescott has just from Cowboy fans. I mean, it is like you want CD to do well, but my God, in order for him to do well, don't Dak got to throw the ball? I mean, I'm serious. Like, it's such a dividing line that it demands some conversation, and that's what I'm going to finish up with tonight. There are so many reasons why people don't like Dak Prescott. There are a couple obvious ones to me, and then there are a few that nobody really don't want to talk about. I'm not gonna do that tonight because I like to keep my show on social media, so I ain't gonna go with the obvious stuff. But some of y'all already know what I'm talking about already. Yeah, some of y'all already know. You know one of the reasons why. Yeah, okay. Let's go through some of this stuff. The contract is really a thorn in the side. Cause see, let me start off this way. It really don't make no difference what y'all feel about that. It makes no difference what I feel about that. He's our quarterback. He's not going anywhere. Some folk want to trade him and all that kind of stuff. Dak Prescott is not going anywhere. He's going to be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, probably for the next, oh my God, probably for the next 5 to 8 years. He's going to get a contract extension. He's not going anywhere. Let's get that out the way real quick. I don't care if he throws for 20 interceptions. He's not going anywhere. I don't care on the opposite side if he throws for 40 touchdowns this year. I mean, and some of y'all still would find a reason to despise him then. He's not going anywhere. They locked in on him. He's not going anywhere. And yes, when he gets the contract extension, you probably gonna get a nice piece of change again. And that's what's gonna tick some of y'all off. Because y'all certainly didn't like. Some of us didn't like when he got paid the first time. Just because, when he signed his big contract. With that contract comes expectations. Some of your expectations are not warranted because some of you Cowboy fans have adopted the Stephen A. Smith rhetoric and Shannon Sharp rhetoric, as if to say that the only way that this dude can get any recognition is unless he wins the Super Bowl. Don't win the Super Bowl, open sesame. on criticism. Just go off because he did. So no other quarterback really has these type of standards. Brady is retired now. He had that type of scrutiny because it was expected. Super Bowl. When you say Tom Brady, you say okay, Super Bowl. That's really the only one that had that type of expectation. Everybody else was not automatic thinking about Super Bowl. This is just how it was. But for some reason, because you listen to Stephen A. Smith every day, because you listen to Shannon Sharp every day, and if you keep hearing the same thing over and over again, and then you start to adopt that narrative that they choose, they purposely get on here and they move the goalpost for that to the ultimate level. And if he don't get it done, then he's not the guy or whatever. All right. So there's a problem with that. See, that was a quarterback back in the day, and I don't know if this is a fair comparison or not. But I'm not talking about skill set. I'm not talking about the quarterback play or whatever. But I hate to throw y'all this, but let me mess y'all up real quick for those of us that are old enough to remember. Can I ask y'all this question? Ooh, I'm finna get on somebody's nerves right here. Can I ask y'all this question? Let me see if I got folks on Podbean so I can go and see what I can say. Yeah. All right. Those on Podbean, those are listening now. Let me ask y'all this question. What did Dan Marino do? What did he do? He didn't win nothing. He did get to one Super Bowl. I'll give you that. I mean, what really did he do? I'm just saying. But you never heard the criticism like that. You never heard it. For those of us that are old enough to remember, you never heard it. You never heard the criticism for a guy that played 15 years or whatever, however long Dan Marino played. What you heard was, oh, what a release he has. The quickest release in football. The quickest release in football. And of course, I'm not saying Dan Marino is not a Hall of Fame quarterback. He is. He got the numbers to prove it. I mean, he threw the ball nonstop, but he piled up a whole lot of numbers. He didn't do nothing. What did he do? What did he do? But when you look at him, most people will say he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and being in the Hall of Fame, I guess that solidifies that. But Dak gets charged for what he didn't do. I mean, come on now. There are a lot of quarterbacks in the league that get a whole lot of praise. And really, when you look at it, what did they do? Why don't they talk bad about Phillip Rivers? A lot of numbers. What did Phillip Rivers do? You don't hear the scrutiny. And maybe because of who he played against. Maybe because the expectation was for him to lose against Peyton Manning and Tom Brady all those years. Maybe that's what got him off the hook. Maybe that's what it was. He ain't do nothing. He ain't do nothing either. I ain't got a better one than that, y'all. Let me really bring it home. What did Tony Romo really do? Because see, this is where the Cowboy fans start to look a little shaky to me. What really? Now I would give Romo the credit that he deserves. There were many a games that Tony Romo won, and if he was not our quarterback, we wouldn't have won. He carried this franchise when the franchise was not good at all. But if we went 8-8, probably 4 of those games is because of Tony Romo. I give him credit for that. But why is Tony Romo so beloved and Dak Prescott is so much hated? Dak Prescott, in his short years he's been in the league, has done more than Tony Romo did in all those years he played. Oh, y'all don't like me tonight. Why is Tony Romo so loved and Dak Prescott is so hated? Why is that? I don't get it. I don't get it. Romo was never an MVP. Dak Prescott's never MVP. Tony Romo made a few Pro Bowls. Dak Prescott has made a few Pro Bowls. Tony Romo threw for over 4,000 yards multiple times. Dak Prescott has thrown for 4,000 yards multiple times. Romo had 30-some odd interceptions. 30-some odd touchdowns. Dak Prescott has thrown for over 30-some touchdowns. Tony Romo barely made the playoffs. Dak Prescott ain't won too many in the play. I don't get what the real hate is. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I believe it's kind of personal. Now, I would tell you this. I will tell you this. Let me tell you this. I can tell you why I don't like Dak Prescott so much. I can tell you why. Let me take that down for a second. I can tell you why I don't like Dak Prescott so much. It's because he's too corporate for me. I don't like Dak Prescott. I don't like that. Because you see, when you're trying to be the goody two-shoe type guy, you put yourself in a real position to where you could either be loved by some and again almost hated by others. I don't like, now y'all may like it, but I don't like corporate Dak. And that's all he's been since he's been here. And that is one of the reasons why he is the NFL Man of the Year. Because he says all of the right things. He does all of the right things. He says all the right things. Let me know if you guys can see this. Let me know if you guys can see this. Let me know if you guys can see this. I'm gonna read this. This comes back in 2018. This is why I don't like that. This is why it's just me. This ain't gotta be you. This is me. You remember when they was kneeling, whatever you feel about it, it was a protest. Guys were kneeling for brutality and all that. And you remember Jerry Jones knelt with the team, whether that was just for stage or whatever. It's fine. But of course, okay, I'm reading it now. This is an article from 2018 where Dak Prescott was talking about the kneeling protest and all that kind of stuff. The cameras hurry up and tried to find Dak Prescott about this situation, and he being a black man, even though he's I guess however way you want to look at it, his mother was white, his father was black. The rule is if you got one drop of black blood in you, you're a black man. His appearance looks like he's a black man, even though he's like that, and he would get treated as a black man, except in this instance. When he kneeled, Dak Prescott immediately tweeted that, well, he didn't tweet. He said that in the article that essentially that he took the middle ground. Can I say it like that? He took the middle ground approach. I'm trying to get out of this. Let me get out of this real quick. Let me get to where I want to get, so I can really read what I want to say here. He said basically this article says that Dak Prescott told reporters during the July 27th training camp news conference that he opposed protesting racial injustice during the national anthem. He said he staked out this territory after Stephen Jones, the team's executive vice president and the son of Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, said players must stand if they want to be a Dallas Cowboy. And after Stephen, of course, said that, Dak came out and said that he opposed protesting racial injustice during the national anthem. He said that there's a better way that you can do it. He said that here he says that it hinged. He said that his belief was that it by protesting takes away from the joy and the love that football brings a lot of people. Now, I gotta admit to you, when I saw that, I had a problem with it. Matter of fact, I still do. I have a problem with it. I understand his position. I do. I really do. I do. But there's consequences for it. He looked like a sellout. I can't say it no much better. And I understand if you support, that's your opinion and that's your interpretation. That's cool. I'm just giving you the reason why a lot of folks don't like him. He's too middle of the ground. Things that need to be said, he does not say them. Stances that need to be, and I'm just not talking about the protest, stances as a team, standing up for yourself. He just doesn't do it. And I don't like it. That's just me. You may feel like that. That's just one of the that's the reason why I kind of got a problem with him. He's just a little bit too corporate for me. Then there are some that just want just really strict to keep it football and just don't like the way he plays the game. And that's where a lot of Cowboy fans come into play. They don't think that he is that type of quarterback. A lot of people do not believe Dak Prescott is not that type of quarterback. If you want to know how I feel, I said that he's good with great elite tendencies at times. That's what I've said about him. because you can't deny the fact of some of the stuff that we have seen, whether you like them, if you don't like them. He has balled out on many occasions, and he has lit some people up. He has. He lit teams up. He has. He has. He has lit a lot of teams up. He has thrown for, the 350, 3 touchdowns. He has lit people up. You can't deny that. He has. He has a tremendous comeback gene in him. The stats say, it just don't seem like it, that he has a whole lot of game-winning drives. Probably has a whole bunch of them, actually. Can't question the heart of this dude. Can't question the heart. He has it. He has it. He's very good with some elite tendencies. When you have tendencies, that don't mean that it's consistent. I don't think that Dak Prescott is consistently great or elite. He has moments. Case in point, as I told you on the last show, the Tampa Bay game, in the playoff game, elite. I mean, that looked like a Hall of Fame quarterback. And the very next week, play the 49ers. The Tampa Bay Dak was nowhere to be found. You saw the other Dak, and there was such a discrepancy or such a gap between the Tampa Bay Dak and then the San Francisco Dak that it make you wonder, like, I mean, good Lord, is his name Dak Roller Coaster Prescott? Because with the roller coaster, you go way up in the air, and then you go way down. That's what Dak did to us. And I understand the 49er defense was pretty good. I understand that. Hey, Scott, I get that. I really do. I really do get that it was such a gap. I really get it. And that's the problem that we have with Dak. That's the problem that we have, and that's why the dividing line is so huge in Cowboy land itself. As I said before, you might as well get used to it. He's with us. Dak Prescott ain't going nowhere. He's not getting traded. All that ain't gonna happen. It's just not going to happen. Dak Prescott will be a Cowboy for a very long time, and it's the truth. And you're gonna have to get used to it. Some of your criticisms are warranted. A whole lot of them are not, though. I'm serious. I'm serious. When everybody else got paid, nobody said nothing. When Dak Prescott got paid, it was everywhere. ESPN, Electric Company, Sesame Street. I mean, it was everywhere. Everybody else got paid. Nobody had no problem with golf getting paid. Not like they did, like that. Not like they did when Dak got it. When Jared Goff got his money, the only thing that possibly was said was that, dang, y'all paid Jared Goff a whole lot of money, man. But nobody didn't say anything. The only thing you came back with it after comment said, well, he was next. Because the quarterback market shows that whoever's next is going to get paid the most. With the exception of maybe Lamar Jackson now, which is another whole conversation within itself. Because I guarantee you Joe Burrow ain't going to get paid with Lamar Jackson going to get, even though Lamar just signed for a 2-year deal. I promise you, Joe Burrow is going to get, the market is going to be reset. Why is it that Lamar had to, let me stop. Well, I mean, seriously. When Jared Goff got his, nobody said nothing. But as soon as Dak signed, first thing everybody said, $40 million. See, you ain't say nothing about he was next. See what I'm saying? You said that when Jared Goff got paid. when Kirk Cousins got paid through the franchise tag all them years. Yeah, he signed today, Matt. He just signed today. When Kirk Cousins got paid for 2 years on the franchise tag, they didn't say, you didn't really hear nothing about saying, man, good Lord, that's just way too much money for Kirk Cousins. He's not that good. You know what most people said about Kirk Cousins? This is what they said. Man, he sure is playing the system right. I mean, he's playing that franchise tag right. Wait a minute. I mean, come on now. Where's the harshness? Where's the criticism? Where's the venom that Dak, I mean, that for all the other folks that's getting paid? Ain't nobody saying nothing about Josh Allen when he got paid. No, what has Josh Allen done? What has Josh Allen done, y'all? What has he done? What Josh Allen do? Somebody help me. What other? I give him he's good for ESPN highlights, plays of the week. I give you that. He's exciting. He'll pull the ball down, run, and don't run out of bounds. Run through some folks. Got a rocket arm. He throw it 70 yards down the field in the air. I give you that. I give you that. But what has Josh Allen done? Nobody said nothing when he got paid. If anything, they said, well, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, Josh Allen, yeah. It makes sense. Because the only reason why I'm saying that because folks said, okay, what has Dak Prescott done to earn $40 million a year? I need that same energy to transfer to Josh Allen because I'm saying, like, okay, what has he done? What did Josh Allen do? He ain't done nothing. Oh, I don't know. Well, I'm sorry. I know what some of y'all saying. Well, he made the AFC Championship game. He got there. So he got there. So he earned the money like that. He's a special type of quarterback. He's a generational type guy. Nobody said nothing about Josh Allen. Nobody said nothing about Kirk Cousins when he got the franchise tag. But boy, when Dak Prescott put his name on there and y'all saw the guaranteed money he got, and then y'all saying, yeah, look, let me show y'all how bad some Cowboy fans were. This is how bad Cowboy fans were. And some Cowboys ought to be ashamed of themselves. Watch this. They saw what Dak Prescott got paid from the Cowboys in his contract. But they criticized him and said something like this. They said, well, why he had to get there? He could have took a discount because he already has all these endorsements. And he should have taken. Dak Prescott is not a $40 million. I'm cool with 30, 34, 35, but he already has endorsements. Why does he have to be so? You didn't say that about Josh Allen. You didn't speak about Josh Allen endorsements. You didn't say nothing about Kirk Cousins endorsements. You ain't said nothing about Patrick Mahomes endorsement. Now everybody want to count on Dak Prescott. What everybody was Googling, what questioning Google? Hey Google, what are Dak Prescott's endorsement deals? Come on, y'all. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. And now now Cowboy fans were trying to count that man money. Y'all know what the rule is in the NFL. Get as much as you can while you can get it because you're not going to be playing that long. What was wrong with that? Some folks still mad at Dak that got that. Some folks still mad at that. Some folks mad at that. Now, if you're going strictly football in your criticism of Dak, then I'm not gonna argue. Because there are times, as I just said before, that Dak has played extremely well. And then there are times when Dak Prescott has played extremely poorly. I give you that. I'm not even gonna argue that. You'd be a fool to say that he's not played poorly in some games. He has. He has. He's not played poorly. I mean, he's played poorly in some games. But I also caution you, and some of this is kind of misguided because Cooper Rush played a lot of games, played 5 games for us. So it really wasn't all Dak. It was a team effort with Cooper Rush in there. Defense stepped up mightily, as we all know. But let's not forget they've been 12-5 for the last 2 years. 12-5. That's 24 games in 2 years. That's pretty good, y'all. That's pretty good. 12 games, not 5-12. They were 12-5. That means they won a whole lot more than they lost. Dak Prescott is the reason why. I understand that. I'm just saying. A lot of our criticism for Dak. I realize the expectations are high. I get it. I understand the inconsistency at times. It ain't been many, but it's been way more good than bad. I'm having a hard time understanding why the hate. But then it leads me, see, what I done learned in life is a lot of people will dance around the issue and throw up other stuff and hope that you don't keep plugging at them so they don't really have to tell you the real reason why they don't like Dak Prescott. I tell you the reason why they don't like Dak Prescott. Y'all know what it is. It ain't what you thinking. Some of y'all thinking I'm gonna say because he's black. That is part of it. That's really not the reason why. The reason why Dak Prescott is hated in Dallas Cowboy land is because he took the job of one Tony Romo away. There are still people upset today that when Tony Romo came out and had that press conference and he killed the controversy and he said, hey, it's Dak's team now. And Tony had been on the sideline all those weeks. His back supposedly, his lead was at a point where he could play again. And the question was arising, what happens when Romo is ready to come back? At that time, the Cowboys ran off about 10 or 11 straight games. The rhythm was there in his rookie year. And Romo did not get back on that field except that little time he played against Philadelphia. He came in, threw 1 or 2 touchdowns and sat back down in a game that didn't mean anything. People are upset because Tony Romo lost his job to Dak Prescott. That's the real reason why. Some of it is that he is black. Some folks just don't like black quarterbacks. It's just the truth. Y'all know it. It's been that way. It ain't just start with Dak Prescott. This go way, 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 way back. Appreciate you, Coach Marv. Coach Marv in the building with the $5 super chat. He said, Big Show, what if Andy would have got rid of Manning when he lost 41-0 to New England with the 6 interceptions in the playoffs? Exactly. It's just a lot of people that you're not gonna tell the truth. Dak Prescott, and it's a true statement. I'm not lying. The reports were that Dak Prescott got hate mail, death threat, when Tony Romo came back and gave it up. They were mad. But Tony Romo did not, and people there are many Cowboy fans. And just Cowboy fans all over the world. I would almost I don't have any factual or things to back my statement. I'm getting ready to say right now. I don't have nothing to back it up. I'm just using my thought. I believe there are millions of Cowboy fans that if they had to take a lie detector test and say, when did you, if you're not a fan of Dak, when did you start hating Dak? I guarantee you, if they had to tell the truth, it's going to be when Tony Romo had the press conference saying, it's Dak's team now. We're going to rally behind Dak. That's when it started. And it has grown ever since. It has grown ever since. It has grown ever since. I'm almost to the point now, and look, I am a part of the criticism of Dak Prescott as well. I already told you. I told you at the beginning of the show. I don't like the corporate Dak at all. I don't like it. I don't like it. He's too perfect for me. He is, to me. He's too perfect. He's a press. He's a press dream. And some of this stuff, like, dude, come on, man. Come on now. You ain't got to be perfect in every answer that you give. Good Lord. But this is what makes him the NFL Man of the Year. So I can't knock him. He ain't there's nothing I say anyway. I'm just saying I don't like it. I be looking for him to put his foot down sometime as the leader of the franchise, but that's just not him. It's just not. But the reason why a lot of people don't like Dak Prescott is because of Romo losing his job. That's the truth. And, Cowboy fans, it kind of reminds you of Skip Bayless when you hear him talking about LeBron James. LeBron can score 36 points like he did last night, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and Skip Bayless will nitpick and say, "Well, he shot 8 for 14 from the 3-point line, and you won't give him credit for putting in 24 points, 8 times 3, 24 points just from the 3-point line. You won't give him credit for that. You'll just go back and say, well, he's a career 31% free throw. 3-point shooter. And he'll break down the quarters. Well, he scored 14 in the fourth quarter, but he only scored 2 in the second quarter. But he's had 40 points. Come on, man. That's how y'all do Dak. Dak can throw for 3 touchdowns in a game, throw for 320, throw for 330, and then you'll nitpick something. He can't win. I'm almost to the point where I'm saying he just can't win. I'm serious. I'm serious. I don't think he can win. Not the fan base over you. If you really just don't like a man, you will find a reason to keep the hatred going or the dislike going. You'll find a way to. What's up, Joe? You'll find a way to keep it going. You won't. You can't do nothing right. Now I'm saying all of this. Appreciate you, Joe. I'm saying all this because of what's getting ready to happen in a few months. Because some of y'all were crying over OBJ. Let's look at what we got. Let's look at what we got. We got CD, we got Brandon, we got Gallup. Those probably going to be our top 3 as of right now. We got gonna have probably Jake Ferguson at tight end. That remains to be seen how good he's going to be or whatever, because we really don't know yet because uh, we haven't seen them do it for a whole year. We're getting ready to find out. We got probably a better play caller as far as understanding situational football. I believe I'll go on bet now that McCarthy's going to be much better than Kellen Moore in situational football, which may be the reason it could be the difference between adding probably 1 to 2 more victories on the win total, which possibly could get you, home court advantage, home field advantage. I'm sorry, it could possibly get you to a Super Bowl. Huh? I'm at the point where we got to get ready for this year. Some of you, I said it last game, the last show, that it's going to be interesting to see the chip that Dak Prescott has on his shoulder. When really the truth of the matter is this: it's a team game. Hmm? Hmm? Shane said this. Let me see what Shane said. I believe that's a part of it, but to me, that is a part you're talking about when I said about Romo losing a job. He said, but to me, it's because Dak hasn't got us to at least an NFC championship. His rookie year was great, but he hasn't lifted the team up to where we're supposed to be. I'm gonna be honest with you, Shane. I don't think we've had the teams really to be talking about that, that level. Our defense just got good. Let's just be realistic. In the last 2 years, this last 2-year stretch on defense has probably been the best it's been in the last 10 to 12 years. We've never had, even in 2016 or whatever it was, our defense wasn't great. They were opportunistic. They weren't great. These last 2 years have been the best defensive teams that Dak Prescott has ever had. Seriously, we haven't had a great. We ain't been a top 10 defense every year. We have not. And you can have the number one now offensively. Excuse me, offensively, we've been very good. We put points on the board. We get a lot of yards. We've done well offensively, but does no good to score 30 and your defense giving up 31. This is what Dak had to deal with, even the couple playoff appearances that he had. We've been very opportunistic defensively. We're now entering the phase on defense where it's borderline very good. It is what it is. And unfortunately, this is where I was going with. Joe beat me to it. Unfortunately, this statement right here is not what Joe said. It's for the overall narrative of the quarterback position. I said it last show. I'll do it again because this statement by Joe kind of does it. The problem with what Joe just said, they limited to the quarterback. Case in point, a couple years ago, Atlanta versus New England. Atlanta is up 28-3. Believe in the third quarter or something. Look like sure demise. When the game was over with, of course, New England won. This was the narrative. Brady did it again. Tom Brady won the Super Bowl. Tom Brady brought his team back. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. But nobody rarely said about New England holding Atlanta to not score anymore in that second half. About how many times did the New England Patriot defense give Tom Brady the ball? You never hear about that. They shut Atlanta completely down. But they say Tom Brady won. And then watch this. When the Cowboys destroyed the Buccaneers in the playoff game, nobody would remember that Tom Brady's quarterback rating for that game, I believe, was a 43.1 or something. He was in the 40s. Dak had a perfect quarterback rating. Nobody said nothing how poorly Tom Brady played. You know what they said? The defense can't stop nobody. Isn't that amazing? When Brady comes back, Tom Brady did it. When Tom Brady loses, the defense can't stop nobody. When you talk about Tom Brady's championships, Tom Brady has 7 rings. Half of them rings was because of the defense. He didn't do nothing against the Rams. He drove that last and put him in field goal position, but I guess you'll say that's what he had to do. He did enough. He didn't do nothing against Carolina in the Super Bowl. Brady ain't done all that. Do y'all remember the defenses the New England Patriots had? Now, y'all can't remember because if you watched it, you will know that it's a team game. That's really what I'm saying. You know, when the Cowboys lose, it's Dak Prescott's fault. Some of y'all said, look at the interceptions Dak had. I said the last show. What about that interception against Jacksonville, the pick 6 in overtime? They won the game. The ball that hit Noah Brown right in between the 8 and the 5, bounced out his chest. Dude caught it on the fly, ran it in for a pick 6, the ball game over with. I don't, you know, but it was Dak's fault. Who said it was no? Who really said it was Noah Brown's fault? Huh? Who said it was Noah Brown? No, all year was, man, Dak sure turned the ball over again. What about the San Francisco game when Michael Gallup ran on that first pick? When Michael Gallup stopped running, didn't turn around, didn't come back to the ball, just standing there really. The other dude caught it from 49ers. Come on, y'all. But you'll say Dak is just inaccurate. Dak is not accurate enough. There was some interception that was on Dak. But it's a team game. Unfortunately, we've individualized the quarterback position so much that we really believe that one guy can pick a whole team up on his back and carry them to the Super Bowl. I'm just saying. Eastside here, appreciate the $2 super chat. He says, oh Lord, still blaming Noah Brown. Well, just call it like I said. It hit him dead in the chest, right? Like what I got on now, it hit him between the O and the L. He had both his hands the ball, didn't catch it, all bounced up. Dude, taking a pick 6. I mean, come on now. We gotta stop. We gotta stop. We gotta stop this. We gotta stop this. You got to stop it. It's a team game. It's a team game. It's really just that simple. We got to be we got to stop individualizing it. There are a lot of factors or the reasons why teams win and lose football games. Dak Prescott is not the sole reason why, like a lot of Cowboys fans love to do. I ain't talking about the outside world. I'm just talking about the Cowboy fans right now. It's unbelievable to me. And the reason why I'm saying is because we getting ready now. We slowly but surely, day by day, we're getting closer. Draft is close. Eat later this month. Gonna get that out of the way. Training camp. We doing voluntary workouts before long. Mandatory workouts coming after that. Here come training camp. Some of y'all want DeAndre Hopkins. Some of y'all wanted this guy and that guy. I'm just gonna say it. Some of these guys don't fit Dak's profile. The way he plays football. Dak does not need a 50-50 type receiver. He ain't that type of quarterback. That's why he didn't do well with Dez Bryant. Dak ain't throwing no 50-50 balls. That's just not him. Romo did. Romo throw it up in there. Go get it, Dez. Go get it. That's not Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott needs a route runner. A type guy. That's what he functions better with. That's why he did so well with Amari Cooper. That's what he needs. He don't need a 50-50 guy. So all these folks talking about, I want DeAndre. I wanted Odell. Odell was, to be honest with you, is more, we made the term Dak friendly. Y'all heard that before. That's what we mean by the Dak friendly type receiver. He don't need no go-getters. Throw the ball up in there one-on-one and just go. Shane, slowly but surely reminding me of Romo as far as record goes. Romo won a lot of football games. Let me look it up real quick while I'm here. Tony Romo won a lot of football games. He just didn't win the big one. Let me look at this. Tony Romo was 92 and 64. Is that unbelievable? And it mess you up. It really does mess you up. I just looked it up. Tony Romo played 156 games. He won 92 and lost 64. It's a lot of wins, man. That's a lot of wins. Somebody put that in the chat real quick. I need to see that because I'm going to look up Dak so far. And it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind about Dak. Dak Prescott is 61 and 36. And he ain't nowhere near played as long as Tony Romo. That's what it's reminding me of, Shane. That's exactly what it's reminding me of. Dak Prescott is slowly but surely reminding me of Romo. Won a lot of games. 61 and 36. That's almost half. That means 97 games. Prescott has won 61 out of 97, man. It's hard. I mean, hey. 61 and 36. Tony Romo won 92. And 92 and what did I say? I forget. I already forgot it. 92 wins out of 156 games. Romo won a lot of games. So you asked me what my eye test is telling me. My eye test is telling me that Dak Prescott, as of right now, is resembling Romo as far as stats go. The only difference gonna separate him is playoff wins. Matter of fact, has he already equaled Tony Romo's playoff wins? Let me shut some of y'all down real quick. Cause it's an argument then could be made. Let me stop. We go with facts. Go with facts in here. Let's go. Let's go. Y'all forgive me. Let me get here. Shoot, we already know how many games Romo won. Both of them on one hand. For both of them. Let's see here. 2-4. 13 seasons. Romo won 2 playoff games. Excuse me, how many playoff wins did Dak had already? He ain't nowhere played 13 seasons. So our argument is gonna be made after Dak win another playoff game. I mean, what Romo got on is just a number. I mean, Romo, yeah, 2-4. I think Dak got what? 2 wins? Right, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right? They 2-4, both of them? Oh, okay. Romo played 13 years. Dak has played what is going to his 8th season, I believe, 7 or 8. Okay. I hate to tell y'all this, all y'all that love Romo so much. It's probably gonna be safe to say that he's gonna obliterate all of Romo's stuff. May not get as many yards passing as Romo got. I mean, come on, y'all. I don't understand. I mean, I understand it. He's won a lot of football games. He just hadn't won the one that I guess is what you say that doesn't count. That counts the most. Regular season dominant, pretty good regular season quarterback. Just hadn't won. He hadn't won the division around, hadn't won, got to the NFC Championship game. Definitely hadn't been to the Super Bowl, but it don't mean he ain't good. Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. It's a team game, though, y'all. Even though the quarterback is going to get the lion's share of the blame or the praise. But make no mistake about it, it's a team game. If Romo had any type of defense back in that time, I believe Tony Romo would have had a good shot at making the Super Bowl because he was scoring points. He just never had a defense. Dak Prescott in the last 2 years have had somewhat, especially last year, had a real good defense. The year before that, they were finding their way. Top 20, top 15 type defense, which is pretty good from where we were, which was dead last. Dak Prescott still scored a point, just couldn't get over the hump. We better get ready, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Some of y'all don't like him. I get it. But you're stuck with him. And just to show you the disrespect, and I'm done when I say this, just to show you the disrespect, and this is almost laughable. Because some of y'all still believe it. Just show you the disrespect that Prescott had. There was a large number of Dallas Cowboy fans that had the audacity to even throw out there that Cooper Rush was supposed to be starting over Dak Prescott. There was a group of folks, a lot of Cowboy fans, that said, and when you look at Cooper Rush stats in those 5 games, some of them games he threw the ball less than 20 times in the game. But because there was a commitment to running the football and our defense was playing lights out, it was not because, and see, let's show you how crazy it is. Cooper Rush threw the ball 14, 19 times, 20 times in the game for 120 yards. And you know that wasn't the real reason why. But then you would turn it around and say, wow, man, Cooper Rush is sure playing well. And the reason why he's saying playing well, because he ain't throwing no interceptions. But it wasn't like he was lighting the scoreboard up. It was Cowboy fans who disrespected Dak Prescott and said that Cooper Rush ought to be starting. That's how much disrespect this dude got. I think it's ridiculous. I'm gonna close with that because I ain't got nothing else to say. Cooper Rush, because he handed the ball off well, because he wasn't throwing it. I mean, because he game managed. He ain't game managed. They purposely didn't put the ball in his hand. Huh? I mean, how disrespectful can you get? I'm done. Because I really don't even need to add no more to that. I mean, come on now. We don't have to pull up those stats. Cooper Rush played. We only had averaging right about 19, whatever. That come back with averaging 30. Come on now. I'm done. Y'all got to call in line because
call from
Coach Bob. Yeah, I know. Ladies and gentlemen, my buddy here. My buddy here. Let me go on, turn it down. Coach. I was just reminded of that how I ain't talking about the outside world, Coach. Coach, why you laughing, man? Wait, Coach.
It's so funny, man.
Coach, they wanted Cooper Rush to.
My God.
I mean, they just disrespected Dak. I mean, like, really? This how much hate you have for the guy? Go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry.
And then the game that we should have been running the ball, we were running the ball against the Eagles. They had to throw the ball 33, 34 times, and he threw 3 picks. I don't understand. In the bigger game, you can say, I'm really not going to let my backup quarterback get in trouble. We put him out there like he was Dak Prescott and had him blow up in his face. I just don't understand. But listen, man, it's a big show. See, I have to disagree with the Romo thing. I'm just saying I have to disagree when you talking about that's why they're hating against Dak Prescott. Listen, and I'm just saying it from my personal experience. You know if you were to know how much I had to defend Tony Romo to Dallas Cowboy fans, where it seems like every Dallas Cowboy fan said, "Oh, y'all ain't gonna win with Romo. He gonna throw a pick. Romo gonna throw a pick." And I had to defend Tony Romo just like I'm defending Dak Prescott, because I knew that Romo was a good quarterback, but I knew that we had the team had flaws that we just put every game in Tony Romo hands, and Dak Prescott following that same line too, because every game comes down because we make some mistakes here and there with offense and defense, and every game comes down to a last drive. And people think a quarterback is supposed to be successful, but every game coming down to a last drive. This is the craziest thing about it is the great Peyton Manning, right? You know what his playoff record is? 14-13. That's his playoff record. Don't you know his completed percentage, his quarterback rating ain't higher than Dak Prescott in Dak Prescott playoff games?
Wow.
You know the great Tom Brady, who has a lot more playoff games, but his passer rating is not higher than Dak Prescott. And don't you know Tom Brady threw 2-1 interception to touchdowns in playoff games? Don't you know that Dak Prescott is throwing 2-1, 11 touchdown passes to 5 interceptions in playoff games? So the biggest issue comes down, it's a collection of a lot of things. Yes, I want to say there is some race things. Yes, there is some maybe attention out there that like Tony Romo. But I just believe that with us not being in the championship game in almost 30 years, there is a new breed of Dallas Cowboy fans. And I'm going to, and be sure, I think sometimes people don't understand the history. My father was a Cowboy fan. Mm-hmm. My father used to have to go through the ridicule, right, of the Cowboys couldn't win the big game back in the 70s. Everybody just ripped the Cowboys, but they said the Cowboys would get to the championship game every year and they couldn't win. They was killing Tom Landry and everything. They said they have a good record every year. They go and they'll get beat. They can't win the big game. Mm-hmm. Then they finally got over the hump and won that first Super Bowl, and then they got to the point. Then they started right back on the Cowboys, talking about they just can't beat Pittsburgh. They just can't. Every time they'll come up short. And you had some people saying that ridiculed Roger Staubach and said Staubach wasn't the guy to beat Pittsburgh. He couldn't beat Pittsburgh. Yeah. And it was always his fault that he couldn't beat Pittsburgh. Yeah. Then Roger Staubach leaves, and then the quarterback that doesn't get a lot of
Danny White.
Danny White. Listen, they killed Danny White because they think Danny White was not Roger Staubach, and Danny White had at that particular time. Danny White had some great numbers for the quarterbacks. Every year he was in the Pro Bowl, and he had some of the better numbers at that time at quarterback. But the thing that they killed Danny White, and they say Danny White is not even in the ring of honor in Dallas. They don't go down as a great quarterback for the Cowboys. And people forget, Danny White went to 3 straight NFC championship games. Mm-hmm. 3 straight. And he lost all 3. They got blown out of all 3. And yes, he might not have his best game. Yes, the defense was getting older. They had and they got beat the 3 times by NFC East teams. Mm-hmm. And we got beat by San Francisco one year, and they got beat by the Eagles beat them one year, and the Reds. That's right.
For that 1980, he went to 3 straight, 80 all the way up until about 82. They lost to Washington in that strike season to get to the Super Bowl. He went to 3 straight championship games.
if they don't even talk about Danny White as a legend at quarterback in Dallas, and he did a great job coming. So that's another part of it, that the criticism and the hatred. This is a hereditary thing for Dallas Cowboy quarterbacks. It's a big stage. You're going to be on a stage where if it's going well, if it's not, you're going to have so much criticism and so much naysaying of your game that it's going to feed into your true fans, and they're going to start believing the narrative that other people are saying to get you to start believing that. Even when I look in the chat when somebody talking about Dak had a terrible season last year. People, your quarterback he can't be terrible, and your offense does that well, and you should have been 14-3. 14-3 that year because you gave 2 games away, and we said with quarterback, well, the defense gave up in Jacksonville 500 some yards total offense.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you is this: the new age fan that has never seen the grind that it takes for a team to get to a championship. Because I remember when Jimmy came in, and when you talking about we were god awful, ugly, bad, we were bad then. And I knew it was a grind to get back to it, and we knew it wasn't an easy thing to stay at that time. But we appreciated the players when we stuck with them to get there, and then they got that. We built a whole new fan base that was different from the ones in the 70s. It's going to take something, and it's going to take us getting to a championship to build a new fan base to understand that, yes, our players are capable of getting there, and that they have, and our fan base become a fan base of winners. Because right now, the people who came on the last 20 years are not fan bases of winners. They have what they call a losing mentality. and that makes you jump around and keep on wanting to change guys and not patient. And if somebody does something, you so vulnerable to listen to whatever somebody say bad about your team, and for you to shut the critics up, you'll go on and say, yeah, man, I know the quarterback is horrible. I'll tell you a point. It's like this. I was in the barbershop, and a couple of guys in the barbershop are Cowboy fans. And I get on their case because I said, what type of Cowboy fans are y'all? Because y'all hear the negative stuff that people talk about this team, about Ezekiel Elliott, about Jerry Jones, about Dak Prescott, and y'all start talking bad about your own players because y'all think that's going to hush the people, the naysayers out there, hush them. You get on their side and say, yeah, Dak Prescott ain't that good. I don't make you win the argument. That makes you look like you're not a Cowboy fan. And I'm not saying that the players don't play well, but if this team can get over there and get to this, we can be good. But when we keep moving the goalposts, we'll never be successful. And this is the crazy thing, Big Show. If the Cowboys go on, the Cowboys team go on, and let's say this year is very successful, and let's say they get to an NFC Championship or a Super Bowl, and let's say they go to the point if they win the Super Bowl, you're going to still have a segment of fans that's going to still say, nah, Dak wouldn't have won it if the defense wasn't so good, or Michael Parsons didn't do so and so, or if the coach wasn't so good, or Mike McCarthy. They're going to say, well, Mike McCarthy did it because Mike McCarthy called plays and made it. Just like they did when Dak had success, they never said it was the quarterback success. That's how Kellen Moore got so pumped up, because every time the Cowboys had success, they was like, oh, man, Kellen Moore in his bag. I never hear that about the other quarterbacks, about the offensive coordinators in their bag when a quarterback is doing well.
Yeah.
It's always trying to put, and you're right about the corporate Dak. But just face it, Big Show. All the quarterbacks that's been in Dallas that's been successful have been corporate guys. They always said the right thing.
Yeah.
That's just because you're in such a big stage that you got so much other stuff going on. You don't even feel like starting five. It's almost that I can't start a five because it's too hot in here already. I don't even need to come in here with no matches because it's like an inferno in this position already. It makes no difference what I say. I'm going to be ridiculed for whatever I say, and it takes tough skin to maneuver all that. That's why I always said it takes a real leader of men and a very special guy to rein everybody in and not and hold them accountable. Because one thing about this big show, when Dak Prescott take all this heat, because every time they're going to win, it's always the quarterback's fault they're going to win. What that happens is we have other players on the team that hide behind that curtain.
Exactly.
They hide behind that curtain. And you need a coach that unveils everybody of the reason why we're not successful as a team and not scared to say that and not leave your quarterback out to dry. This organization has left their quarterback out to dry for some of their imperfections, some of their coaching decisions, some of their defensive deficiency, some of their play callers or people they put in trust. And they left their quarterback out to dry. And instead of us realizing that, we just fed into the quarterback and the Cowboy organization and hid behind Dak Prescott and said, okay, regardless we took Mark Cooper, well, if Dak didn't play well, don't worry about what we made mistakes. It's all on Dak. Yeah. And this is added to the pressure of Dak Prescott because they know what Dak Prescott was, because if they didn't think Dak Prescott was the man, they wouldn't have given him $40 million. Yep. So regardless of what they say or what they don't say in support of their quarterback, yep, follow the money. If they paid him, they know behind closed doors that a lot of this don't fall on Dak. But what better way to hide behind somebody than to not defend our quarterback? To say these certain things about, oh, he's a good leader. Well, his contract is taking up salary cap. Oh, yeah, well, he's got to play a little bit better. Yes, we think he can get better here and there. And that just fuels the fire of people out there that keep ripping on Dak. But Dak should come out and say, if the organization didn't believe in me, they wouldn't have paid me.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's why I'm just saying, man, we just need a new breed of fans. This is not uncommon of the quarterback ridicule that they have in Dallas. But as you said, it takes teams to win. I hope McCarthy understands that, and what he thinks he's trying to put together a team to win this thing. And we just need to get it going on, but we are going in the right direction. And the Cowboys just got to not be so impatient and think that because as soon as we lose a game, we think the sky is falling. I don't care if we lose a regular season game, man, we go off the chain. We just fall off the board, and we ready to trade the quarterback and trade the receivers and trade everybody on the team. Just be patient, follow the process. It doesn't come overnight, but we're going in the right direction. And if we can have a good team, we'll build off these experiences, and hopefully people won't be hiding behind the curtain and try to hide behind Dak Prescott. He'll play well, and everybody else will do their job. The owners are own, the general manager, the coach is a coach, the players are play, and fans be fans. That's all we need to do.
Appreciate you, Coach. Awesome.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you, Doc. The one and only Coach Marv, once again. Now, for those that are in the chat, my brother Justin Ball is in here. Let me say this. If this was a rebuilding team, then Justin, your question or your statement about rebuilding might might work. But when you got a team that's just about a win now team, if you're talking about getting rid of Dak, then what's your alternative? Because I don't care what y'all say, quarterbacks don't fall off trees. That quarterbacks don't fall off. I mean, you just don't go get them, the good ones. And another dividing line with Cowboy fans. Somebody will say Dak is a top 10 quarterback. Some say he's a middle of the pack quarterback. Well, even if he was a middle of the quarterback, there's only 15 guys that can really do this job at a real good high level. So if we rebuilding, if you're talking about some of these top tier quarterbacks of this draft or next year draft or the year before that draft or whatever, you had to give up a whole lot to get up in the top 2 or 3 in the draft. Cowboys not gonna pay that type of price. Plus, that's the unknown. See what I'm saying? Then the Cowboys are not gonna pay even more money for a guy that probably would get paid more money than Dak. You brought up the name Lamar Jackson. If we were to get a Lamar Jackson and y'all crying about $40 million, what you think Lamar Jackson was gonna get? Even though he just signed with look what he just got. 2-year deal today. I mean, the Lamar Jackson, there are plenty who believe that Lamar Jackson is better than Dak Prescott. So if you're crying about Dak Prescott contract, don't you think Lamar Jackson gonna get paid more? I mean, you don't hand this type of team over to you gotta, if you gonna give up on a $40 million quarterback, you're gonna give up on a good quarterback like that, then you got to give me an upgrade. So, look at the names, I guess, that you guys think that are better than Dak Prescott. Some of you say, I ain't saying y'all because y'all got more sense. At least I hope you do. Who's better? I mean, when you say the Burrows and the Herberts and the Mahomes and some of y'all think Josh Allen is better. Okay, what you think? What you think they gonna want? I mean, come on now. If you go with this year's draft, it's the unknown. CJ Stroud did real good at Ohio State. This ain't the Big Ten, though. This ain't the Big Ten. This the NFL. I ain't seen an Ohio State quarterback do well yet. I love Bryce Young from Alabama. I love him, but how we know that's gonna translate to the NFL? We don't know that. You don't hand this over. You don't hand this over to a novice. Coach Breedlove, I see you in there. Coach Breedlove is spitting flat knowledge over here. Yes. He asked this question. Coach Breedlove said, why do we continue to give the defense a pass? If we score over 20 points a game, shouldn't the defense be able to stop them? I challenge you even more than that, Coach. Dak was putting up 30. You said 20. Eastside Harold, I didn't even see you call, but I'm glad I didn't see you call. I mean, because I don't, I didn't get the notification of Eastside, but I will answer. Did I miss your call? I think I did. And in fairness, I'm going to call you right back. So you don't have to call in. I'll call you right back, Eastside. I think this is your number here. I promise you, I'm about to call you right back. And my guy Cobb just said, okay. Yes.
Call from
East side, man. Don't be like that, brother.
to accept, press 1.
No, I didn't even hear you call East Side. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the haterade portion of the show. He is the one and only. Let's clap our hands for him. Oh my God, East Side Harold, the chief fan of the Houston Texans. Lord have mercy. Go ahead, East Side.
Why do you keep moving the goalposts? You know, I hear you with these excuses. Why are you trying to change the game of football? When a quarterback, you know what a quarterback is, right?
Go ahead.
When he throws an interception, it's an interception. It can touch whoever's hand, but whoever threw that ball, that goes down as an interception to that particular player. I want to hear about, his hands dropped it and all of that. Maybe if Dak threw it in an accurate spot, it wouldn't be an interception.
Exactly. You're showing something that ain't right. The play that you're talking about.
What's that?
When Noah Brown.
I'm talking about you moving the goalpost.
No, I'm not knowing. When Noah Brown, the ball hit him dead in his chest between the 8 and the 5. The ball's not thrown hard at all. He should have caught the football. Now, how you trying to get around it in some kind of way, trying to say that's Dak Prescott's fault? That's showing me something. But go ahead.
It went down in the record book, sir. It went down on file
as a pick six
to Dakota Prescott
as a pick six. So since you know the play, since you watch more Cowboy games than Houston Texans games.
I wouldn't say that.
So you saying that it was Dak Prescott's fault? That Noah Brown dropped the football?
What I'm saying is, sir. Let me bring you a little analogy. Do you remember Matt Shaw?
I do. That's the little Houston Texas quarterback. Go ahead.
There was a time he was arguably a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. He had Andre Johnson, a baby D-Hop. He had Aaron Foster. It was a good 2 years. You could arguably say he was a top 5 quarterback. Then one season, he just broke the record for pick sixes, and his career just went downhill. It just took one season. He went from being top 5 quarterback in the NFL, leading the way. Beat Peyton Manning when he first went to Denver. He was going supreme, but then just 1 year. That's what happens to certain athletes. They look good, then 1 year just downhill. They just drop off a cliff. And I'm telling you, I see that for Dakota. And this is what you got to look forward to, sir.
Yeah, I wish you would look toward Houston and stop keep your eyes in Dallas, looking at us all the time. Worry about
it's sports.
It's
sports that happens.
What did you see so much for the Cowboys? What do you see for the Houston Texans right now?
Oh, sir, I'm glad you asked. I'm so glad that you opened that door.
Hold on. No, I don't.
Hey, sir.
I really don't want to know.
Hey, sir, can I get some Coach Moore time, sir? Oh, man. Can I get some love like Coach Moore? I'm trying to give you a little sports analogy.
This is the Dallas Cowboys podcast. This ain't Houston.
Hey, man, I'm talking Dallas. It's just, now what you want to hear is the truth.
No, okay. I appreciate you so much, brother. Thank you for the super chat too, brother. I appreciate it. Goodbye, man.
Yeah. All right.
Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the one and only Eastside Harold. You can find him on every Dallas Cowboy podcast as coming in as a hater. That's what he do. And he does that well. So it is what it is. I don't have too much time left. I've been on for like, but this is the reason why Dak Prescott is such a lightning rod when it comes. I ain't talking about to the outside world. I'm talking about the Cowboy fans. There's a dividing line in the belief of Dak Prescott. Some believe he can carry us there. Some believe that he can't. I'm saying that Dak Prescott, from what I've seen, remember what I said at the beginning of the show. I believe Dak Prescott is a good quarterback and has elite type moments. That's what I said about him. He's more good than he is on that elite type level. He's had a lot of elite type moments, but then he mixes that in with some questionable games. So he's not consistently elite yet. He's not on that level. And because of that, I don't think that it's really not on him. The game will come to him, and he has to be elite in some moments where he has that ability to to make a couple drives where he gets it done. He does. The game will present himself the moments that it will give him a chance to change some of the narratives that are about him. The games will present him the moments. He just got to take advantage of them. That's how you shut all this down. That's how you shut it down. The game itself will present him the moments where, like, okay, Dak, let's go. The game will do it. You ain't got to worry about that. He has to do it that way. Okay. So the jury is out. One thing about it, he has the weapons. He has, we got to wait to see the running game because Pollard is, he's not. I don't know if he's going to be ready yet. So they say he will be. We got the running game. We just got to figure that part out. But outside, he has the weapon. He got a pretty good tight end, I believe, going to be in Jake Ferguson. He has the weapons. We're going to find out again. The game will present itself. The moments that will change the narrative about him. So we'll just have to see. And just like I agree with Talib just said that the only way to change the narrative is win in the playoffs. He's at that point where probably that is the case. That he's going to have to win in the playoffs to shut some of this down. But it's really true. A-Cobb said, like I said this earlier, Cobbs. I said this earlier. We can't take a chance on a guy to use the brand as a way to drive up the price. All these big names that y'all hear about, the Cowboys, as ESPN say Cowboys, like OBJ, Bobby Wagner, these guys use the brand immediately to drive the price up so they can sign somewhere else. I don't think OBJ really wanted to come, and I don't think Jerry Jones offered him the type of money, obviously, that the Ravens did today. And I don't think they should have. We just can't pay a guy like that. God bless Baltimore. He looked good, in the press, but can he stay healthy? And, OBJ will be just about the number one receiver in Baltimore. Ain't no other team going to give him that because everybody else done moved on. OBJ will be just about the number one option. Well, not the number one option, but the number one wide receiver in Baltimore. No other team could give him that. Yeah. The Cowboys teams used Earl Watson did it a couple years ago, Earl Washington chased Jason Garrett down. Come get me. Come get me. Come get me. Y'all remember that? Come get me. When it was time for free agency, everybody said Dallas. He used the Dallas brand. Baltimore signed him for a whole bunch of money. Von Miller, same thing. Used the Cowboy brand. Now all of a sudden he in Buffalo. See what I'm saying? I mean, the list go on and on. OBJ just joined the list of people that love to use the Cowboy brand and name, try to price up somewhere else. He did it. Bobby Wagner did it just a couple weeks ago. Said that he was going to let the two teams, Dallas and another team, Seattle, prove his value. In other words, he was saying, I'm going to the highest bidder. What happened? Cowboys offered him. I don't even know if they offered him whatever. But the Seahawks offered him a nice bucket load of money. Guess what? He went back home. So there are plenty of guys that use the brand. And that's what happened. Dak Prescott is a lightning rod. And he's going to continue to be one. But one thing about it, ladies and gentlemen, as I leave you tonight, one thing about it, nothing we can do about it. He's staying with us. You can hate all him all you want. He ain't going nowhere. He's going to be a Dallas Cowboy for probably about the next 6 to 8 years. He is not going anywhere. There will be a contract extension coming with Dak Prescott name all over it. Might as well get ready. It is what it is. It is what it is. He ain't going nowhere. So we might as well get used to it. That's why I say a lot of this season is going to fall on him. How well he plays, I believe he's going to have a better year, obviously, this year. It is going to be a comeback year in a sort for that. He's going to do it. The question is, how far will he go? Or how far will the Cowboys go? Because of it. That remains to be seen. Listen, I'm done. I appreciate all of you guys hanging with me tonight. Go ahead and let's get the clap emojis going real quick. I'm out of here. Thank you for Podbean. Thank you for all you guys hanging with me. Thank you for all my partners, podcast partners, Anthony Cobb, Sports Empire Network page, and all the family, Talib and Shane, Joe, all you guys, Coach Marv, Coach Breed Love, all you guys, Justin, Eastside Harold. Appreciate all of you guys coming to hang with me. You didn't have to give me this time, but I appreciate you. Appreciate y'all with the hand claps. I ain't got to ask for it no more. Let's get out of here. I'm tired now. I done worked all day. I'm ready to cash it in. Appreciate y'all for hanging with me. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you later this week. This has been the Big Time Show.